Hello everyone, let me show you right off the bat why arriving at our section 5, Capstone Delivery and Control Simulation is the most exciting milestone in your PGMP exam preparation journey. Because this is where we take all the isolated tools we've learned, change control, earn value management, risk registers, and quality audits, and mash them together into one living, breathing, high stakes enterprise simulation. When you look at the official study guide, a program control capstone simulation is formally defined as an integrated practical evaluation framework designed to synthesize governance principles, performance measurement, and interdependency control across a multi-component scenario. Now, in very simple words, our capstone simulation is just like a flight simulator used by veteran airline pilots. Before you fly a real commercial jumbo jet full of passengers through a massive thunderstorm, you have to sit in a simulator cockpit where instructors throw engine failures, sudden wind shear, and electrical blackouts at you all at once to prove you can handle the pressure. Think of it like this. I remember consulting for a massive global energy enterprise years ago, where our newly certified program managers knew every textbook definition by heart. But the moment a real crisis hit, where an external vendor went bankrupt, a critical path component fell 3 months behind, and the executive board demanded a budget cut, they froze up because they had never practiced coordinating all those moving parts together. That is why this capstone simulation is going to make you battle tested and exam ready. Don't worry, we'll take it slow as we step into our control room. Let's dive deeper into how our capstone simulation sets up a realistic, high-pressure enterprise scenario featuring multiple failing components and cross-project dependencies. According to the official study guide, integrated program simulations require modeling complex operational friction, including cross-component bottlenecks, conflicting stakeholder demands, and compounding schedule variances that mimic real-world program environments. In very simple words, setting up this simulation scenario is just like dropping players into a complex strategic video game where your city is facing a simultaneous traffic gridlock, a power outage, and a water shortage, forcing you to prioritize resources wisely instead of panicking. Let me share a quick story with you. Years ago, I designed a live simulation workshop for senior executives where we introduced 3 simultaneous crises. Component Project Alpha's database crashed, Component Project Beta's primary supplier went on strike, and the CFO announced a 10% budget slash. The room went dead silent for a minute. But as the teams applied our formal PGMP change control and risk response protocols, order emerged from the chaos. Stay with me for a moment because practicing under pressure is a guaranteed PGMP exam point winner. Now watch how this connects directly to pulling up our simulated program management information system dashboard to run earned value management calculations and variance trend analysis. The official study guide states that during program performance control, managers must evaluate aggregated plan value, earned value, actual cost, and performance indexes like CPI and SPI to diagnose underlying financial and schedule health across all scenario components. In very simple words, diagnosing data in our simulation dashboard is just like opening up the hood of a sputtering race car with a digital diagnostic scanner plugged into the engine to read the exact error codes and see why the car is losing horsepower. Think of it like, have you ever seen a program manager look at a failing project and just guess at what is wrong without looking at the actual numbers? In our simulation, guessing will cause your program to fail. We have to rely on hard earned value metrics like checking our cost performance index and reviewing our estimate at completion trend lines to know the exact truth of our financial standing. Let's talk about the practical art of stepping into the simulation chair to approve change request, deploy corrective actions, and push back against scope creep under tight time limits. According to the official study guide, effective program control demands executing formal change control board reviews, approving verified corrective actions, and updating master baselines while keeping all dependent component teams aligned. In very simple words, executing change control in a crisis is just like being an air traffic controller who has to calmly reroute 3 incoming planes away from a blocked runway without letting the pilots panic or fly into each other's airspace. Think of it like this. I remember watching students in my live ATP training class struggle during this exact phase of the simulation. When an angry simulated stakeholder demanded an unapproved scope addition, the student tried to please everyone and said yes, instantly blowing their simulation budget. We paused the simulation, taught them how to use the change control board to say no professionally, and watched their performance scores shoot right back up to green. Stay with me for a moment because discipline under pressure is what makes a true PGMP leader. Let's explore how our capstone simulation tests your ability to handle independent quality audit failures and nasty third-party vendor contract disputes in real time. The official study guide emphasizes that program delivery control requires enforcing independent quality compliance, issuing formal corrective action requests (CARs), and managing external vendor dependencies through strict contractual SLAs. In very simple words, handling vendor disputes and quality audits in the simulation is just like dealing with a home remodeling contractor who used cheap flooring and missed their completion deadline. You don't yell at them. You pull out your signed contract, review the quality inspection checklist, and enforce the penalty clauses legally. Think of it like this. I remember in our simulation exercise where an external software testing vendor missed their delivery window, threatening our critical path. One student wanted to fire the vendor immediately without reading the contract, which would have triggered a massive legal lawsuit. We guided them to use our formal escalation pathway and invoke the contract's service level agreement penalties instead. The vendor cooperated instantly. Don't worry, we'll take it slow and look at how you document these resolutions. We have arrived at the final stretch of our journey through section 5 and our capstone simulation. And let's tie it all together with a winning PGMP exam strategy. The official study guide highlights that exam scenarios will test your comprehensive ability to synthesize all delivery and control domains, integrating change control, earned value management, risk responses, quality audits, and stakeholder governance into a cohesive leadership strategy. In very simple words, this means whenever you read a complex, multi-paragraph situational exam question where multiple things are failing at once, your correct answer choice will always involve applying structured governance, checking earned value metrics, executing formal change control, and leading through integrated program processes. Never panicking, acting on impulse, ignoring cross-component dependencies, or treating projects in isolation. Think of it like a seasoned orchestra conductor who brings every instrument together in perfect harmony during the grand finale of a symphony. I always remind my live class students on exam day, trust the standardized processes you have practiced in this capstone. Look for holistic program level options and remember that you have mastered the complete art of program delivery and control. And in the next chapter, we are going to talk about stakeholder theory in program management.